This is Radar for On the Radar Entertainment Blog with a weekly edition of baseball observation, spring training style. So there weren't that many major transactions, as I stated, the last couple of weeks because it has been full-fledged spring training. Out of sad news, Trey Mancini had to undergo a non-baseball medical procedure to remove a tumor. Hopefully he gets better because when he's healthy, he's about a 30 to 40 home run candidate, playing first base, outfield, and DH. The Cardinals released Yairo Munoz, surprising because he played everywhere last year, but I feel like if Tommy Edman he broke out last year, then there's not room for Muno. Orioles picked up Hector Velasquez because, again, nobody knows who's going to be in the rotation or their bullpen. And the Mariners lost another pitcher to Tommy John, this time Matt Caracidi. And then the Orioles, who I said don't have many pitching, signed Danny Barnes from Blue Jay reliever to a minor league deal. Angels signed Dustin Peterson to a minor league deal. The Angels signed former Phillies first baseman Brock Stassi to a minor league deal. The A's signed Brock Stassi. Former Philly Brock Stassi signed with the A's, my bad. The A's have no room at first base or DH, so it's AAA depth. And former Red Sox major leaguer Allen Webster signed with the Nationals. As I said, the Nationals have pitching depth galore. Rockies release Harrison Musgrove. And the Giants and the Gardenhauer means confirmed that Joe Jimenez with the Tigers closer. I assume that much. They don't have many relievers. Bad news for the Brewers. Eric Lauer's going to start the year in the DL. And then Carlos Carrasco is going to be questionable opening day, and Clevenger having a problem. Indians have an issue with their rotation. Sir Anthony Dominguez experienced another setback. It's not good for the Phillies. They need him in the bullpen. The Mariners announced Carlos Gonzalez unlikely to make the roster. They're going all young in the outfield. And that's all the minor league news. The major news is the coronavirus is outbreaking, and the NBA first suspended their operations, NHL, MLS. You got XFL doing, the NFL is getting involved eventually. The boxing is stopped. They've stopped tennis. So baseball said they suspended spring training for now, and they're going to delay the start of the season by 2 weeks. That also means no major league or minor league spring trainings are happening for now. J.B. Pritzker, the Illinois governor, has said that there's going to be no home games or no fans allowed for home games on May 1st. So if there is some games, we won't be allowed to attend them next month or in May, which is annoying because both Sox and Cubs have good enough rosters this year to be wild card contenders. Not guaranteeing they both make the playoffs, but there was excitement about both teams this year. Usually not both teams are good at the same time, so that's going to be annoying. And they also canceled any of the games right now for the qualifying World Baseball Classic because that involved different countries flying over to the United States to play against a bunch of other countries. So that is not good. Now, the other thing is they've said that for now, there'll be a freeze on transactions. So there won't be anything happening because this amount of time where you get toward the end of spring training where you got to decide who makes the roster from the minor leagues, who are young, the veterans who sign on minor league deals, do you trade somebody, whatnot, you release, or do they have all these opt-outs? That's the thing. They don't know what they're going to do because of all the transactions. And if you pick somebody off waiver, does that player have to go from Florida to Arizona? And that's another issue. They decided there's going to be 3 options for players. One is they can go to their personal home, which is a preference of the whole entire league. Though there is a warning for players who reside in other countries owing to potential travel restrictions. Players can also remain in the camp facilities, continue to receive their living allowance, what they can do while they live there because Arizona is not their home. Or they can go to the home city. So if you play for the Dodgers, you can go back to LA if you want, for example. Now, this is not good for minor leaguers because minor leaguers, they're going to miss out on potential pay because they're not really getting paid for the spring training like the major leaguers do. But yes. So I will give you more updates about baseball and the coronavirus and sports on my podcast next Wednesday night when I upload it. But if you're looking for baseball things, go to my blog at Blogger, the Google blog site, and type in Radar 428. I have the whole entire National League West of all-time 25-man rosters, and I have 4 out of 5 all-time rosters for the Phillies. And now with the halt of the season, I may just go and start doing the NL Central until the season starts because I was about to write that preview for you and record a whole special podcast. And in general, all my news is on the Radar Entertainment blog at Facebook.com. All my podcasts, including former previews of other sports seasons, are on Spotify or Google Podcasts for On the Radar and wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for listening to another edition of On the Radar Entertainment Blogs, weekly edition of Baseball Observations, pre-trade edition. See you guys next week.